Hi, I'm Alastair Blair. When I think about gender equality, I always think back to my parents. They had a huge influence, like everybody else, they had a huge influence on my life. I always think my father taught me how to deal with people, work with people. My mother would have obviously taught me about the importance of education. She was also, I'd say, convinced from a very early age that we should go to co-educational schools because she believed you got a more balanced education, a more balanced view of life. And I think that really brought home the importance of gender equality to us as a family. Education equally so, she was very keen that we took on broad-based backgrounds. And she was also the only woman in 3 generations of her own family, being surrounded as she was by men. So her view was a broad-based education was vital. She's quite keen to get a broader perspective, perhaps other than the numbers, as she would have called them. And indeed, I see that myself in my own life of my own 2 daughters. They love using the technology, but I'm beseeching them almost on a monthly, weekly, daily, hourly basis in some case, if I'm able to get them away from the technology, to try to understand at a much better level how the actual technology works, how it was created. I think it's very important for us to reflect back on the fact that some 10, 11 years ago, Mark Ryan and the leadership team made a very concerted effort then to put gender equality at the fore, and it has remained there ever since. We've now arrived at a point where 1/3 of our leadership team are female, and I think that is a terrific statement, but we've some ways to go. I also reflect back on how did we arrive at this point and what was important to bear in mind. I can vividly recall presenting at the first Accent on Women Day in 2004 when I was the male sponsor for the programme. The importance is that we place that is a women's and a men's issue. This is not a female or a women's issue alone. It has to be part and parcel of everything we do as men and women every day in leading and driving and growing our business. Secondly, I think when you reflect back on our business over the last 10 or 11 years, we've been through one of the worst economic downturns any of us would want ever to experience. I am absolutely certain that the diverse nature of our workforce, the diverse nature of our leadership team in particular, is one of the critical factors that has made the difference. And we've emerged from that economic downturn as a business in a far better place. When I extend that out to the wider marketplace and you see how many organisations, the government and everyone else in the country now focusing on this issue, I think we're in a good place. We have an awful lot to contribute. And I think when you take that one step further and you think about how core this is becoming to us as a country, the future is bright. Put that at the heart and centre of everything we do, and the future will be bright, hopeful. And we can look at our kids in the eye and say there's a future for each and every one of you and what you want to do and be.